People don't treat you based on who you are. They treat you based on what they believe you represent, not your intentions, not your effort, not your inner world. Their behavior reflects a calculation you never see, but constantly feel. The way people treat you is not a mystery. It's an assessment. Human behavior is guided less by morality and more by perceived value. Not value as worth, but value as relevance, cost, and replaceability. When people believe access to you is easy, your opinions flexible, and your presence stable, their behavior shifts. They listen less carefully, they respond more slowly, they invest only when convenient. This isn't cruelty, it's psychology. Perceived value determines how much effort others are willing to spend adjusting themselves for you. And effort is the currency of respect. Perceived value is built from patterns, not statements. People don't evaluate you based on what you say about yourself. They evaluate you based on what your behavior consistently signals, how quickly you respond, how often you accommodate, how easily you tolerate imbalance. Each of these behaviors sends information to the nervous system of others. When you consistently absorb inconvenience without recalibration, you communicate that adjustment flows in one direction. The brain doesn't label this as generosity. It labels it as low resistance. Low resistance lowers the need for emotional precision. This is why people interrupt some individuals and listen carefully to others. Why some opinions are debated and others are glossed over. Why some boundaries are respected and others are tested. It's not about confidence. It's about friction. Friction signals cost. Cost signals value. When interactions with you require no recalibration, no emotional effort, and no consequence, your psychological weight decreases. And once weight decreases, behavior follows. People stop checking in, stop explaining themselves, stop accounting for your reactions. Not because they dislike you, but because nothing in the interaction demands adjustment. If this sounds uncomfortable, that's intentional. This channel isn't designed to make things feel good. It's designed to make patterns visible. If you want more breakdowns like this, grounded, behavioral, and calm, subscribe to the channel, not for reassurance, for understanding. When perceived value drops, social dynamics quietly reorganize. You're still included, but not prioritized. Still present, but not consulted. Still known, but less considered. People feel comfortable making decisions without you and informing you afterward. Your presence becomes assumed rather than invited. This is where many people feel confused. They haven't changed their character. They haven't become distant. They haven't withdrawn. Yet something feels different. What changed wasn't who they are. It was how others learned to relate to them. Once a role is established as flexible and accommodating, it becomes difficult to disrupt without tension. Any attempt to assert boundaries feels out of character. Any request for reciprocity feels unexpected. Any withdrawal feels disproportionate. This is why people often say, they only started acting differently when I stopped doing everything. That's not coincidence. That's recalibration. When perceived value increases, behavior resists change. When it decreases, behavior adapts freely. And this applies across contexts, friendships, work, family, and romantic relationships. The system is consistent. The psychology of perceived value isn't about becoming distant or strategic. It's about becoming defined. Defined limits create reference points. Reference points create adjustment. Adjustment creates respect. People don't mistreat others because they're bad. They mistreat what feels low cost. And perceived value isn't about proving worth. It's about how much emotional and behavioral recalibration your presence requires. When access is unlimited, value flattens. When access has structure, value stabilizes. This isn't manipulation, it's alignment. People treat you based on the signals your behavior consistently sends, not because they're calculating, but because psychology is. And once you understand that, behavior stops feeling personal and starts feeling predictable.